Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I hope you all can see and hear me clearly. We are back at it again for another episode with Meiyoko and I. He should be hopping on very soon. We got to come up with a name for the show. So, y'all let us know what type of name you guys want us to create and come up with for today's show. So, as you guys hold, oh, I have my music on. Let me turn off Janet Jackson, honey. We cannot play Miss Janet on here. I don't want to get no strikes. I don't want to get no strikes. So I hope you all, first and foremost, let me start out. Happy belated Mother's Day to everybody, to all the moms out there, or all the mom figures out there, all the grandmothers out there, all the godmothers out there. Happy belated Mother's Day. I hope you guys had an amazing Mother's Day. Hope it was relaxing. I hope it was just absolute fun, funny, and you had a lot of joy. For me, my Mother's Day was amazing. I actually went to church on Mother's Day. It was really, really good. I had a really, really good service. And then after that, I went home and I relaxed. My kids made me something to eat, and I had a great time. So, y'all share in the chat. How was your Mother's Day? How was your Mother's Day? While you guys are doing that, let me just double check and make sure that my audio is good. Okay, so hey Diane, how you doing, love? I had to check my audio real quick. I don't like how it sounds. Go ahead and type in one if you're on here live right now. Do me a favor, just to confirm that my audio is good. Go ahead and type in one in the chat. Hello, Diane. Thank you so much for. How was your Mother's Day? Oh, good, good. You had a good Mother's Day. But type in. Okay, so hey Diane, okay, it does sound a little better. It does sound a little better. But y'all let me know if it sounds good because, I don't want to be on here and you guys can't hear me properly. So go ahead and give me a one in the chat to let me know that my sound is loud and clear. All right. So Meiyoko should be hopping on in just a second. I want to definitely do a little bit of housekeeping with you guys. If you guys don't know, we come on live, Meiyoko and I, every Wednesday and every Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every Wednesday and every Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. If you would like to get notifications, right, when we go live, definitely type inbox in the chat. Type inbox in the chat right now, even if you're watching this on the replay. And I'll reach out to you to get your email address so I can add you to my list. So that way, when we do this show, you can get the reminders. Okay. We do stream this show on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram. Okay, so we do stream on all those platforms. So make sure that you are following us on all those platforms. Okay. All right. Awesome. Diane said my sound is great. Awesome. Shout out to all my replay viewers, all of you who hop on, all of you who are watching live right now. Can y'all do me a favor and go ahead and type in hashtag live in the chat? For those of you who are going to be tuning in on the replay, go ahead and type in hashtag replay. We love, 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 love all of our replay viewers. So let us know you're here by going ahead and typing in hashtag replay. All right. Diane said I went to church and had a relaxing afternoon. I did the same thing, Diane. Um, I went to church in the morning. Okay. Had a great, great service. A lot of people were there during the service. And then I went home because I don't know about you. And you let me know, Diane, if you're the same way. I don't really like to go to restaurants on Mother's Day. It's always packed. You're waiting forever for your food. I would much rather I'm a type of girl, like I like going to the restaurants during a week, like during like early lunchtime, late lunchtime, because there's always less people and the food always tastes a little bit better, in my personal opinion. But let me know if you're the same way, because I know I'm that way. I was like, I'm not dealing with me waiting like hours for my food to be done. I'd rather just, go home, relax, and have a good time. So church service was absolutely awesome. And those of you who are watching this live on the replay, share with us what you did for Mother's Day. What did you do for Mother's Day? Okay, what did you do for Mother's Day? The weather was amazing. The weather was awesome. Y'all go ahead and share what y'all did for Mother's Day. Also, just a little bit of housekeeping. Our tour. How many of y'all type in two in the chat if you've already got your tickets? Type the number 2 in the chat if you've already got your tickets. Okay. Type in 2 in the chat if you already got your tickets for our upcoming Your Brand, Your Breakthrough Evolution tour, which is going to be kicking off on August 16th. We're going to be in New York. Then we're going to be in Maryland. Then we're going to be in Georgia and then Texas. So if you haven't gotten your ticket already, head on over to bit.ly/YBYB tour. We have in-person tickets. We have live stream tickets. Okay. For those of you who want to come in person, we also have a down payment option. So definitely make sure y'all take advantage of that and secure a spot, because we will be filling up very fast, very, very soon. So you definitely want to make sure that you secure your ticket. Okay. Again, if you cannot, hey, congratulations, Diane. If you cannot attend, oh, Diane, yes. If you cannot attend in person, join the live stream. Listen, you guys need to build that personal brand in order to elevate and evolve when it comes to your email marketing. Okay. Diane said, I'm the same way. I prefer to go during the week, same time. Yeah, I prefer going through the week. I feel like it's the best time. I like to talk to my waitress as well. It's the best time to just sit. You can talk to your waitress. You can talk, have an enjoyable conversation with whoever that you're with at the time. And I just really, really enjoy that. So let me get some. Okay, y'all, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into today's conversation. Meiyoko is going to be hopping on in just a couple of seconds, but type in hashtag ready if you're ready for today's title. Y'all, this is going to be an interesting title. This is going to be an interesting conversation. Go ahead and type in hashtag ready if you're ready for that. Last week, Meiyoko and I shared how 80% of what we do and what we teach and what you guys are going to have exposure to at our upcoming tour is 80% is going to be self-development. And when you think about self-development, when I think of the word self-development, I think about self-improvement, right? Y'all share in the chat, Diane, and those of you who are watching live and those of you who are watching this on the replay, what when somebody says self-development, because that's a word that gets just really watered down in the social media space, because there's a lot of people that talk about self-development, but they're not really talking about it in a deeper way, and especially not talking about self-development how Meiyoko and I are talking about self-development, right? So 80% of what we do is the self-development, 20% is the strategy. But when I think of the word self-development, I think about self-improvement, right? Because we're always improving ourselves. We're never going to be perfect, right? Or whatever definition of what perfect is to you, but you should always be improving. If you caught that, type 3 in the chat right now. You should always be improving. Your things are not always going to work out the way they're going to work out. Plans are not always going to come into fruition the way you want them to all the time. But if you're constantly in improvement mode every single day in your life and your business, things are going to work out in your favor, right? So yes, self-improvement is important. Self-improvement is everything, right? So yes, let's go ahead and get into today's title. And today's topic is we're going to be talking about emotions and entrepreneurship. Ooh, somebody type in wow, hashtag wow, emotions and entrepreneurship. The 2 E's. The 2 E's, y'all. And typing 4 in the chat is you want to improve on your emotions and your entrepreneurship, right? You want to have that self-improvement because they both work hand in hand. All right, y'all. So if you haven't shared this out, go ahead and make sure that you share this out. For those of you who are just watching for the very, very first time, my name is Leticia Campbell, and I call myself your #1 email marketing strategist. I'm also the CEO and founder of the Campbell Success Network and the Your Brand, Your Breakthrough. And I'm here to definitely help you guys level up your email marketing and evolve with your personal branding alongside Go. Okay. Oh, he is here. Yay, yay, yay. Yay, yay, yay. He is here. We are just about to get started. Hold on. Let me just change the background here real quick. And I'm going to go ahead and add Mr. Meiyoko to the panel. Hey, Meiyoko, how are you?
And I see Diane's already in here.
Yes. Yes, she's already in here. Yes, yes, yes. And we have a couple of people watching as well. How are you feeling today?
I'm pretty good. It's raining though.
Yes, it's raining over here too, like really, really bad. Y'all let us know in the chat how your weather is uh, wherever you're at. So before you hopped on, we didn't get into the talking points just yet, but
Huh?
I know yesterday you and I had a great meeting and we talked about once again what we've been saying for the past, few months now is 80% of what you and I talk about and share and teach on is self-development. And I
Mhm.
asked the audience when somebody says the word self development, because I don't know about you, Meiyoko, but I personally feel like that word self development is getting watered down right now. Everybody's talking about I'm going to help you develop yourself better. I'm going to coach you on self development. But when I think of the word self development, I think about self improvement,
Mhm.
because we're never going to get to a point where we're perfect. Like everything's going to be perfect, especially those of us who are extremely technical. But if we're always focusing on improving ourselves, right,
Mhm.
we make more progression each and every single day. So I was asking the audience, like, what, when they hear the word self development, what does that mean to them? What comes to mind to them? Because it's different for everybody.
Mhm.
Because self development is such a broad word, but it's different for everybody.
What did they say? Did anybody
We
comment?
didn't get any comments yet. I was sharing what my thoughts are when I hear the word self development.
Got you. So what is it?
Yeah. I said it's more about self improvement. Like when somebody says, well, self development, I'm like, well, I'm focused on improving myself,
Right.
not being perfect, but just improving myself in my emotions, in my business and all the things. Yeah.
What would you say? And they can respond in the chat. What would you
Right.
say is the least focused area of self improvement that most
Self.
people need to focus on?
Self.
What about self? What part?
Ooh, this is deep. Self. The
What do you think
least
is the least
focus.
focused area? The area of least focus.
Emotions.
That was good. Ding, ding, ding,
Because I feel
ding.
like we get out of control with our emotions.
Yep.
So if we're
Yep.
not focused on it, it gets out of control.
When most people think of self development, they think of mindset first. They always go to
Yes.
mindset or have the how to have the right mindset.
Right.
But what they don't realize is that thoughts and emotions are very, very. They're kind of it's a synchronicity with them. Sometimes
Oh, I like
emotions
that
make you
word.
think particular things.
Right.
Sometimes your thoughts, your thoughts don't always have to trigger emotions, but your emotions almost always trigger a thought.
Wow. Wow.
Yep.
Then people may ask, well, how doesn't our thoughts trigger emotion?
Well, I mean, I can think. For example, I can think about, you know what that person did to me. I could do something back to them. The same energy. May not be exactly upset though, but now I have the opportunity to kind of process that. Because think about
Mm.
this. Just because now I'll talk about limiting beliefs. We could be achieving all types of things in our lives, right? But then there's that thought, you're not worthy, you're not good enough. That doesn't have to trigger an emotional reaction though, even though the thought is going there. You know what I mean? You could literally be like, oh, that's just a thought, it's a belief. I'm gonna brush it to the side. But when we focus on something and it starts to get connected to our emotions, that's what makes it real. That's when we start to believe it. So I'll give you another example. You have 5 children. Let's say you were walking outside, right? And then you hear somebody say, you know what, your kid is stupid, or your kid is this, your kid is that. You may tell them, it may not trigger you, right? It may not trigger you emotionally, but you may say, you know what, son, daughter, don't even worry about that. Kids say mean things all the time. I was your age. Kids say mean things. It's not true, kind of thing, right? You reaffirm them. Now, you see somebody hit your child. You see somebody hit your child. That's not a thought. That's an actual action. Somebody trying to harm your child. You are going to react emotionally. 100%. You
100%.
react emotionally.
1,000%.
Now, 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 that emotion may not be as regulated as regulating your emotions when it was a thought or somebody
Right.
said. So that's the difference. Like
Right.
emotional, if when we're triggered emotionally, it can cause us a different type of reaction.
Yes.
right?
Yes.
To where it's just like, man, I reacted. Now I'm actually thinking about it.
Right.
I maybe could have reacted a certain way, another way.
Right. Oh, this is so
You know?
deep.
So thoughts and emotions, your thoughts don't have to be directly tied to an emotion. But
Correct.
I
Correct.
can almost guarantee you your emotion is going to trigger a thought. I'm
Ooh.
mad. I'm mad. So you know what? I want to punch them in the face now.
Right.
I
Right.
want to do something evil. I want to do something. Those thoughts are going to be flying.
Right. Right.
And but then yet and still, there's a thought that can be flying in your mind, and it's not directly connected to anything.
Right.
It's
Oh,
just a
that's deep. I think this is too deep
thought.
for everybody y'all who are watching right now. Just saying. Just saying. I think
It's
this is
just
just
it's just a thought.
wow.
You
Wow.
know, for example, oh man, you know what would be nice? A nice cheesesteak. That would probably really hit the spot.
Right.
Probably would taste good, but you know it's not good for me. I
Right.
don't eat it right now.
Right. So then that's where our discipline steps in.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Emotional intelligence, emotional discipline, and that segues into our conversation about feelings.
Ooh, let's go. Let's go with the first one since you said it. Well, our first point today is feelings versus facts.
Learning to lead with logic, not emotion.
Yes.
Now, anybody in the chat, anybody that's watching, how many times have you done something based on how you feel and you realize that was probably not the best decision to make?
Me, I'm gonna raise my hand first. Y'all go ahead and type
I,
in the
I
number
can't type
5
one
in
in
the
the
chat.
chat, but I'm gonna raise my hand.
Yes, 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 yes.
So how does this correlate with your personal brand and your business? Very,
Right.
very, it's very, very important because a lot of us, and as human beings, we're emotionally reactive. Like emotions is
Yeah,
something that really gets our attention,
very true.
right? So if you're, and I'll give you a perfect example because Leticia got on me about this
Ooh,
yesterday, I think. I have not posted
I
in
got.
I have not posted in
Oh,
six
okay.
to 7 days, right?
That one. Okay.
So one of the reasons why I haven't posted in so long is because I've been kind of like working on some back end stuff when it comes to my business.
Right.
Um, just kind of sorting some things out. So for the next 6 months, I can kind of set my business to where it can scale.
Right.
So I didn't really feel like it. I didn't really feel like posting. And I've got tons of posts that I've already done. I just didn't feel like going through the effort of going on Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff and posting.
Right.
Was it the best decision?
Nope.
No,
Heck
because
no.
that means 7 days I had not showed up to my audience,
Right.
right? Now, granted, I'm working on something to kind of automate that and make it more systematic so I don't have to be there all the time. But right now, that wasn't the case. So you can type a 1 in the chat or a 3 in the chat, right? 1, if you agree that I made the right decision. 3, if you feel like I should have posted at least maybe twice or 3 times in the week, right? So what I did, as you type those numbers in, what I actually did is I slowed momentum. So my engagement went down, which is never really a good thing when you're intentionally causing your engagement to go down. So my engagement went down, and I had some people reach out to me. Are you okay? And I'm like, I'm fine. I'm fine. But they haven't seen me online in the past week, right? So I say that to say, because I felt like I didn't want to show up and I was directing my energy towards something else, that was my convenient excuse. But I really should have showed up anyway, right? But as a result, my engagement went down and it affected my business to a degree. Did I make the right decision? To myself, I did. But from a business perspective, I didn't.
Right.
From a Meiyoko perspective, oh, I made the best decision in the world.
Right.
From a business perspective, I could have actually handled that better.
Right.
Maybe instead of not posting every day, I could have posted 3 days out of this week
Right.
or 2 quality posts. I could have done something, right?
Right.
instead of just going all in and focusing on that. That's how I
Right.
felt, what I felt I wanted to do.
Right.
All right. So that's my little mini example because Leticia was talking and she was like, "You haven't posted in 6 days." Like, I know I'm focused on something pertaining to my business, but I was affecting another part of my business.
Right.
I reacted based on how I was feeling.
Right.
All right. How many of you right now are doing things pertaining to how you feel when it comes to your business?
A lot of people do that. A lot of people do that. It does, and it, like you said, a lot of times when I find, I'm using myself as an example. Whenever I did things according to my feelings versus facts, it clouded my mind. It clouded my decision making,
Right.
and
Right.
that's also a distraction.
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
know, it's more than just saying. I've gotten really good at not being so reactive on my feelings, but also keep in mind that sometimes we can have our feelings make ourselves pause on things. Like I was talking to a client yesterday and she was talking about, I feel like I just need to pause. And I was like, well, it's a good, I know you feel that way, but it's a, if you were pausing and you already had some things going, like things that you were marketing and promoting, then that'll make sense if you're saying, hey, let me slow down a little bit so I can catch up
Right.
or just see where I'm at. But if you're not really doing anything, the facts show that, there's nothing really that you're working on as far as project wise, and what are you slowing down?
All right. So, I
It's not
mean,
logical.
my question would be, what is a pause? What does that mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Like
what
pause, just stopping. Just that was the comment, just stopping everything. But I was like, I was getting confused. Like, well, what are you stopping? it's nothing's been done to stop,
right.
you know?
Right.
Yeah.
It's we get in our feelings all the time.
Yeah.
I'll go back to a posting example. I have this picture. I want to post it, but I look stupid.
Yeah.
And it could be
Like
the
you
one
missed.
it could be the one post or the one engagement piece that actually gets you clients
Yeah.
or that connects you to your audience.
Yeah.
Or I have a great idea on an offer and how I want to help people, but
Right.
I don't really think it's good. I think people will think it's stupid.
Right.
Maybe there's not a heavy market for it, or maybe people will just think it's so weird that it'll kind of tarnish my brand or whatever.
Right. Correct.
Things like that, really getting into your own feelings, and
Right.
it's the very thing that may take your brand, may take your business to the next level. But because you're so caught into how you feel, not versus how the market will perceive it, then nobody else hears about it. You become the best kept secret. And it kind of takes us back to one of our first live streams, our first masterclass
Right.
about becoming the best kept secret.
Right. Right.
And the reason why a lot of people are the best kept secret is because they are acting based on emotions.
Yeah, yeah, we get very tied up in our thoughts. And going, since you mentioned our very first masterclass that we did, we launched it last November, I believe. Um, we could have been stuck in our own thoughts on what we should be talking about, what we shouldn't be talking about. But I find that the best way we've got out of our feelings or assumptions, which could be the same thing as feelings, is that we base our content on facts. We reached out to our audience, we did polls and things
Right.
like that. That's sort of gotten us out of our feelings and assumptions, even with my business, when I feel down some days or what have you, we all go through it. And I'm like, well, am I getting ahead? What's going on? I look at my email list and say, wow, I have tons, hundreds of people who joined my list. Those are potential leads. What it's like I always tell myself, you're not starting out at zero. So all
Right.
you have to do is just pivot from here. And what you told me, like you mentioned something I told you yesterday about posting. What you telling me yesterday over the phone, you said, Tisha, you got to stay focused
Right. Right.
because
Right.
everything's there.
Yeah. Right.
Everything's there. I can tell you honestly, Meiyoko, there's nothing that I don't have in a sense of moving forward. Like I'm not starting from zero. You know
No.
what I'm saying?
No. Nobody really is though.
Yeah.
Nobody really is.
Yeah.
If you have a skill set and you have an area of genius that you can actually use to help yourself and somebody else, you're not starting from zero.
Right.
You have your experience, you have your
Right.
skill set, you
Right.
have those particular things.
Testimonials, content.
Right,
I mean,
right,
everything's there. You
Right.
know.
But the problem is we allow feelings to get in the way.
Yeah.
And one of those feelings that really, really gets in the way is fear.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fear.
Yeah.
As entrepreneurs, we really, really have to move away from worrying about what everybody else thinks.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
one of the biggest ones. And I know
Yeah.
we talked about it on several live streams, but
Right.
it's necessary to bring up again because we have this perception that our market controls who we are and how
Right.
successful we become. And
Right.
it's really not the way that's the way it's taught, but that's not really the case.
Right.
Because you yourself, when you have something valuable to the marketplace, you're going to attract the people that you need to attract.
Right.
It's going to be there. But you have to stop thinking that your audience is kind of dictating exactly how successful you're going to become.
Right. Right.
And that's the feeling. I
Right.
feel like if I don't show up to my audience a particular way,
Yeah.
they're going to think this way, or they're not
Right.
going to do this. Your audience hasn't even told you that.
It's not reality. It's
It's
not
something that you
facts. Yeah.
feel and that you've actually put into your mind, and now it's manifested as a reality because now you're acting this way. You're
Right.
not pitching your offer. You're not posting. You're not telling people about what you do.
Right.
You're not confident in what you do, and it just affects your entire business.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ooh, I'm glad you mentioned that because it brings us to this next point was turning passion into power, using emotion to fuel your mission. You know, we we bounce around a lot. Like I constantly have to tell myself to stop doing that. And that's like on a daily basis. Like we're doing this tour and there's times where I have to tell Leticia, focus on the tour, focus on the tour, focus on the tour, focus on the tour. Because you could so easily be pulled in so many different directions.
Sure.
And those of y'all who are watching, that never stops. I don't care how long you've been in business. I don't care how long you've been promoting whatever you're promoting online. Either somebody's going to email you with another opportunity or DM you with another opportunity, and it's going to get you off what your passion is moving forward in. And so I find that when we bounce around all the time, we sort of lose our power in our business. We lose our power of influence, our power of connecting, our power of converting. And we're not really, then that's when we're being more fueled by our emotions and feelings than our actual logic and facts, right? So that's a huge thing. And I always keep telling myself, your emotions is not your enemy. Like, let's just be clear. We're not trying to tell y'all to be like this stone where you don't have no emotion, no empathy, no sense of your feelings or anything like that. You got to have those things, but you want to use them in the right way to fuel where you're going, right,
Right.
Meiyoko?
Emotions are indicators. They
Yeah.
will let you know whether or not something is going right or wrong in your life. I mean, it's God's amazing way of giving us these different types of alert systems.
Yes.
Whether we're
Yes.
unhappy or something, we're happy about something, something needs to change. So if you utilize emotions the right way, they can be very, very helpful,
Right.
to you. Now, here's the thing: a lot of people are starting businesses or in particular businesses not because they're passionate about them. They're in the business because they are looking towards the profit
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
possibly from the business. And that's the mistake.
Yeah.
Because now once you're not making the profit that you think that you were going to make, now you start not doing the things that are going to make the business grow.
Right.
And I say that because I see people all the time that have successful businesses. They're not passionate about what they're doing. I
No.
literally talked to someone yesterday who has a business partner. They did over 7 figures in 2023. It dipped to about 700,000 2024.
Right.
And this year they decided to dissolve their business. The reason why they had the financial dip is because, he just told me, he said, listen, I was never excited about it.
Right.
I was just good at what I was doing.
Right.
Wasn't passionate. I wasn't passionate about it. Now talking to him, he kind of like rekindled his passion on what he's passionate for. And it has nothing
Wow.
what he's doing in his business.
Right. Right.
Now he's about to start something else that he is so ecstatic about.
Right.
Um, because when he was in his early teens and early 20s, that particular thing is what he was passionate about, and he never got back to that. So
Wow.
in his
Wow.
life, he feels like this lack of contentment.
Right.
But now, like when because I was coaching him now talking about it, Now this guy, he just lit up for the next
Yeah.
hour talking
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
it. It gave him like this new sense of direction. But the whole point is you got to be passionate about
You
what you're
have to
doing.
be. You have to be. Yeah.
Like that's important. That's when emotion is used the right way.
Right.
You got to be passionate about what you're doing. Like when it comes to coaching people and helping people, I'm passionate about it.
You have to be
Nobody,
passionate about
everybody that knows me knows that that is something I'm passionate about.
it. Right.
Actually, I am probably, I don't want to say too passionate about it, but I have to exercise even better boundaries because some people will try to call me all times of the night. All times of the night. Like if I was to show you my if I was to show you my phone, I get texts all times of the night.
All times of the
I'm a
night.
little better with that, but I
Yep.
still have a lot of work to do.
Right. Right.
All right.
Right.
But I'm passionate about what I'm doing. And this is why I'm blessed to be so good at what I do because I really believe in what I'm doing. I'm passionate about it. Like there's not anything else you can tell me, like, hey, if you would have thought about your life,
Right.
there's something else you would be doing.
Right.
This would be always a part of what this would always be a part of it because it's who I am. So I
Right.
say that to say to you watching the replay or watching live, make sure you can't turn your passion into power in your business if you are not passionate about what you're doing.
Yes. Yes.
So if you are not passionate about what you're doing, it's definitely time to have that talk with yourself
You have
and get
to.
in a place where you are passionate about what you're doing.
That's
You know,
right.
Leticia, I think that may be something that we actually should teach because
Yeah, we should because that ties into the results that those who
right,
are
right,
watching that you give, and it's always the hardest point to sell. That's the hardest thing to sell for a lot of the everyone who's watching is the result.
right.
Is
But if
the
you're
result.
but if you're not passionate, but if you're not really passionate about your business and what you do, that's gonna show.
Yeah,
It's gonna show in everything that you do. So I really
exactly.
think that's something that I think some people at our crossroads because they're not passionate. Some
Right.
people may come to this tour not even passionate about what they're doing.
Yeah.
So that may be something we may have to address
Yeah,
because
we have to address that as a
you got
tour
to
for
be
sure.
passionate about what you're doing.
Right.
And it's not listen, and it's not you don't have to start over if you're not passionate about it.
Right.
You're just pivoting. That's it. You're not
Right.
starting over. You're not starting over because it's very easy and very simple. Well, very simple to get particular tools in place and redirect your business to something you're
Right.
passionate about.
Right.
But better, better earlier than later.
Better, yeah, better as soon as possible. And we talked about this one on one together, going back to the results. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like if you're not passionate about the results you give, nobody's gonna want to buy or join or sign up or get
You're not gonna
started.
last. You're not gonna
Yeah,
last. Your
it's
business is
not.
not gonna last.
It's not. So I love this word, resilience, right? Resilience. I've been hearing that word for years.
Mhm.
And looking up emotional resilience,
All
right?
right.
This is the last point we want to mention today, which is the secret weapon for longevity in business. Because I'm laughing because this is so self-reflecting for me right now, but a lot of things that we go through in life, even for me just recently, there's times where I think like, wow, these are all just setbacks and distractions,
Mhm.
right? And even we may feel that way about rejection as well. That's a setback. It's a distraction. But the way to work through that, right? So we can step into our season is through that emotional resilience. I'm
Mhm.
going to get through this despite of.
Mhm.
I'm going to show up despite of. I'm going to keep pushing forward no matter what. It's like, even though we may have emotional sadness or going through emotional turmoil or whatever it is that we're going through in our personal life. I'm just saying this from a woman's standpoint. I don't know what the fellas go through, but it's
Mhm.
still saying I'm going to keep pushing because I know if I stop pushing, whatever's in me is just going to die. It's like childbirth, right?
Right.
I never forget this when I had my second son, and I was pushing. It was this boy did not want to come out, and they were like, Miss Campbell, if you don't push him out, we're going to have to give you a C-section because his heart rate is going down. I look into the sky, I pray, I said, Lord, and I pulled out this big push, and he popped right out. But even those moments where we just may be that big, need to have that big push right? That big, level of emotional resilience to get through what we need to get through.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's all the secret to longevity. When people ask me, Leticia, how can you be? This is one thing that gets on my nerves sometimes. People are like, well, Leticia, you make it sound so easy. You're so lucky. None of what I do is luck.
They don't know your story.
None of what I do has anything to do with the fact that I was lucky or I was
Right.
at the right place at the right time. All these things that people think or assume is all resilience.
They don't know your story.
Don't know my story. Oh, is that a dig? Because I feel like you make me say I need to tell my story
No,
more.
no,
I caught
they
that.
don't know your story. They don't know
Yeah,
your story. And the thing about it is trials, right? Trials
yeah,
and things that happen in our life, they're not designed to defeat us. They're
right.
designed to test and to transform us.
Ooh, y'all write that
We
down in the
we look at
chat.
we look
Test
at
and
things that
transform.
we look at things that happen in our life like God knows everything that is going to take place in our life.
Everything,
God knows every trial, every tribulation, every
everything.
situation, right? And he knows whether or not that situation is going to transform you for the better. He already
Yes,
knows. Can you imagine
yes,
can you imagine life without having any type of obstacle? I want
yeah.
everybody to think about that. Imagine if you had no obstacle in life at all.
None,
Imagine
zero.
any obstacle, there would be no type of gain of perspective,
Yes,
gain of information, gain of knowledge. So, and as a result, there will be no growth.
right,
There's no growth without contention, without obstacle, without adversity.
right, right,
I am not the same person I was 3 years ago or 4 years ago.
right,
One of the reasons why I'm not the same person is because I went through some very, very life changing, challenging things
right, right.
time period. I can literally tell you I am not the same person I was 4 years ago.
Yep.
And and people around me will literally tell you, man, he went through a lot, but you know what? There's some attributes that he gained that made him even better.
Yep.
So I want to people to well, emotional resilience. When you're thinking about that word and you're thinking about it as longevity in your business, you're gonna have ups and downs.
Oh yeah.
We hear about a lot of people that went bankrupt or went in situations where they had negative dollars in their bank account. You know, sometimes these things happen, but they build character, they build perspective, they force you to start to learn and develop skills and ways to solve different problems in your business. So it's necessary.
Right.
It's necessary. So
It's all a part of our entrepreneur journey.
yes, and growth and
And
growth.
and you even said this to me what not even a month ago that we got to start videoing our journey. You know what I mean? Like just
Right.
even if it's for 5 minutes, just whatever. I even did that yesterday of what I was going through, which what you know
Oh,
about.
you
But
did.
yeah,
Look, I'm gonna
I
put you on
did.
the spot. Listen, y'all, I've been telling Leticia to video document herself for a long time.
Yes, he has.
Long
Yes.
time. And she probably did maybe 2, 3 videos
Yeah.
out of several months.
And what did I tell you? I don't want to do that because I'm just gonna be crying all the time. But I'm gonna be honest, like I don't know, it's just this a weird feeling I'm having, but I feel like doing that, I'm even at a state of relaxation right now, even talking about this because sometimes we do feel that we're alone, and but sometimes you are going to have a point in your life where you're going to either be alone or have very few people around you that's influencing your life and business. I think I'm at a stage right now where it's just very few people around, but at the end of the day, making those documenting those things when you reach a point, like I said before, everything that's happening now is part of your entrepreneur journey. But when you reach that level of success, whatever that means to you, you get to look back. And you even said that before too, Meiyoko. You get to look back and watch those videos, or
Right.
um, if you're going through even a happy time, you could go back and watch how far you came. Yeah,
Right. Documentation, we document everything else,
yeah,
like in regular life. But when it comes to self-improvement, self-development, back to the original
right,
introduction of all this, you won't really know how far you've come and how much you've grown unless you can actually look back and recollect things that have taken place.
yeah,
Sometimes the best thing to do is to document that,
right,
especially based on the type of circumstances. Because listen, having a business, you are going to go, life is going to happen.
yep,
Circumstances are going to happen. whether it be sickness, whether it be financial, whether it be emotional, all types of things. You are still a human being at the end of the day. So how do you navigate that and actually still make sure you're growing your business at the same time?
Correct.
And it's by
Correct.
having emotional resilience. The thing about it is you cannot get emotionally resilient without having obstacles and challenges, working your
Yes.
way through them. Like that's
Yes.
the only way you're going to have it.
That's right.
That's the only way you're going to have it. So when those particular things come, knowing how to navigate through that entire process is very, very important.
It is. It's very important. Yeah, y'all quiet there in the chat, and I know that the reason for that is you guys are very thinking very deep,
Yeah, this is
and
a
I know
reflection live stream. This
it
is a
is. And I
stream.
know a lot of the questions can be, well, how do I become more resilient? I think what we listen to and what we watch, the conversations that we have on a day-to-day basis is important because it pushes you through that feeling of wanting to stop, or what I was telling you before. One of my clients was saying, well, slow down, you know,
Mhm.
it keeps you moving forward. So this was a great conversation. I really want y'all to think and reflect on what we're saying because, like I said earlier, and we mentioned this on almost every show for the past couple of weeks, 80% of what we do is self-development. And nothing else is going to make sense if you don't know that. You got to have that self-development, self-improvement, all those things, because that's going to keep you going in business. It's going to get you focused. It focuses everything. I'm learning how to focus more. We all can improve on that, you know?
I have a question for everybody.
Yes.
Everybody. What emotions are you feeding?
Ooh, y'all better answer that question. What
What
emotions
emotions are you
are
feeding?
you feeding?
And are they working for your business and for your life, or are they working against
Yes.
them?
Yes. Yes. Be honest.
What
Be
emotions?
honest.
You don't have to type a one in the chat, two in the chat. You don't have to type anything for that. That's just a question I want to leave with you and with myself and
Yes.
with you, Leticia. What emotions are you feeding?
Whew, we might go talk about that later. Yes, it's about self-reflect. Thank you,
Absolutely,
Diane.
Diane.
Yes,
Absolutely.
self-reflecting and accountability. That's right.
But
And you
yeah,
go, you go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say y'all need to buy them tickets. If
Yes,
you're
you
on here
do.
and you have not purchased a ticket, you gotta purchase a ticket.
That's
Because like I
right.
said, I always say this is stuff is the tip of the iceberg. It's gonna be very, very different. You see the link posted here. This is not gonna be like your in-person rah-rah positive thinking and no type of application at all. No. This
Yeah.
is very, very different. I am not just somebody that does personal branding. I am a transformation coach. You don't know what the type of coach that is? We work from the inside out.
That's
So
right.
we combine that with everything else we're doing. So this is not going to be, this is unlike an experience that you're ever going to have going to just some personal branding or business type of workshop or anything. It's going to be very, very different. I promise you. It's going to be
Right.
very
And,
different.
and I don't mean to brag or boast or even try to fill up Miyoko's head with air. I'm saying what I'm about to say because I mean this. Being coached and mentored by Miyoko is absolutely going to change your life. It's going to change your life. And when you get into that space, is what I mean by that space is actually coming to the tour, being in that space. You're going to experience all that and more. It's not where you're getting those. I mean, and I joke about this, and no offense to those of you who are NLP. Is it NLP or what's that? Neuristic.
Yeah, NLP, NLP.
No offense to you guys. I have done retreats and affiliations with tons of those of you who are extremely certified and experienced. This is a higher level of that because he has all that training. I'm telling you that right now. He's been in that world, showed up for those classes, part of that, certified, all that. But he's taken this to more of a deeper, more spiritual, more self-reflecting, get all those the garbage out of your mind so you get more clear and focused on what you need to do, how you need to do, and how you need to move forward and stay with it. So this is not going to be just an overnight thing.
No.
Okay, we're not going to be like everybody else and promise you, hey, you come to this one place for 4 hours, every single thing in your life's going to change. This is going to be a start. It's going to be like you took a step, right? Instead, you took a huge leap,
Right. Absolutely.
okay, forward and up. So again, it's going to absolutely change your life. because it has for me. And I
And
want to
you'll
thank you
leave,
so
and you're
much, Meiyoko, for that.
you're welcome. You're welcome. And you're gonna be able to leave with the manual to maintaining this. That's
Yes.
important. You're not just gonna come here and be like, all right, this was great. What do I do next? No,
Right.
you're actually gonna leave with particular steps and a manual to actually maintain this so you can continue to grow and continue to develop in the ways that you need to.
Yes. And I promise you, a year from now, you're going to go back from attending this event and you're going to tell yourself, this is where it got started.
Absolutely.
This is where this all, whatever you're going to create, a book, a podcast, a program, a product, you want to rank up in your organization, whatever. This event is where you're going to tell yourself this time next year that this is where it started.
Yep. It is
Okay.
called
So
Your Brand, Your Breakthrough for a reason.
evolution tour.
Evolution
It's
tour. Right.
evolution time. It's
Right.
evolution time. And evolution time means it's your time. It's your time. Okay. It's your time. All right. So thank you guys so much for joining us and watching. We'll be back tomorrow. But in the meantime, make sure y'all grab your ticket. We do have a down payment option. Yes,
Yes.
we do. So more importantly, we want you there in person. Yes, virtual is great. Virtual is fine. And some people don't care whether you come in person or virtual, but we really care that you guys actually be in the room so you can experience the full result of this tour. All right. So we
Absolutely.
appreciate you guys for being here. We'll be back here again tomorrow. Till next time. Bye,
All right,
guys.
guys.